Y'all, we just really getting started, man. As y'all come in, tap the screen, share the live. I'm not much in a lecture mood tonight, so y'all gonna run the live. I'm gonna answer whatever you ask me. We can talk about whatever y'all talk about, but I don't got it in me just to go live and lecture for an hour. Not tonight. I've been talking all day. I'm tired. But we could talk about manifest. We could talk about turning thoughts into things. We could talk about making habits, breaking habits, confidence, self-esteem, hypnosis, influence. We can talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. I'm just letting y'all know I don't got it in me to lecture. It's just as easy for me to stay live as it is for me to go to bed. So if the live fall flat, I'm gonna go to bed. But if people tapping the screen, if people interacting, I'll sit on here and talk all night. Let's talk about anchors. What you want to talk about? Like anchors in turn of NLP? Like NLP anchors? We can talk about anchors. What do you want to know specifically about anchors? You want to know how to use them? You want to know how to set them? What do you want to know about anchors? What are they? Anchors are tools that we use to help people with change work. It's pretty much built on the law of association. The law of association states that anytime two stimuluses activate at the same time, the subconscious mind will start to link them together. So it's getting into like Pavlov and the bells and the dogs. Every time he fed the dogs, he would ring the bell. So the bell became an anchor for food. So what eventually happened is he could ring the bell and the dog's mouth would salivate even if there wasn't food in sight. So the way that you use anchors in change work is you figure out what are emotions that you want to be able to step into instantly, what are feelings that you want to be able to step into instantly, and you figure out a kinesthetic connection. I always have my clients build anchors in the fingers, something like this, something they can do anywhere, but you figure out a connection that you want to be able to trigger those particular emotions with, and you get yourself into your parasympathetic nervous system. You get yourself relaxed, you get yourself in a state of ease, you get yourself in theta. And as you're in theta, you start to remember a time where you felt that way as vividly as possible. Remember where you were, remember who else was there, what smells could you smell, was anything that you could taste. And as those emotions start to build, it's very important that you capture them as they're building. As they're building, you activate that anchor and you hold it for about 8 seconds. And as you're living out that scene and you hold that anchor for about 8 seconds, what happens is you start to use the law of association to start to connect whatever anchor you decided on to that feeling. And when done properly, what happens is you got something that just by doing this, you can activate that feeling. That's what an anchor is. And the powerful thing about anchors is people build them on accident all the time. You already got several anchors in your life. When you see a red light, that's an anchor. When you see a yellow light, for me, that's an anchor to speed up, hurry up. It's not, for me, yellow is not an anchor to slow down. Yellow is an anchor to speed up. I don't know what type of anchor yellow is for y'all. How do you build an anchor? I just walked you through it. You just got in here, or did you just come in? You build an anchor by, first thing you got to do is you got to get in your parasympathetic nervous system. You got to get relaxed. Oh, you just came in. You got to get relaxed. You got to get in a state of ease. So do some box breathing, take some deep breaths, relax, get in a state of ease. Once you're in that deeply relaxed state, you remember a time where you felt the way that you want to put into the anchor. So you remember a time where you felt that way, and to the best of your ability, you relive that experience. Now, the thing that we got to understand about imagining is everybody imagines different. Some people see vivid pictures and videos when they imagine. Some people hear sounds. Some people just get a feeling. Some people get the sense that this is over there, that's over there, this thing is over here. So just because you don't see things doesn't mean that you're not imagining, right? It could be a happy moment. It could be a moment where you felt motivated. It could be a moment where you felt unstoppable. One of the anchors that I build a lot of times when I'm working with women is on women who have given birth. Oftentimes after birth, there's this feeling of, I just put life into the world. My body built this thing and I just pushed it out, and they just feel powerful. They feel unstoppable. They feel loved. They feel all of these just things at once. So I'll use things like that. and we'll create an anchor by getting them in a relaxed state. That's how you feel? Yeah, that's what I hear. I've never had a baby. I have 3 children, but I've never pushed one out. But women tell me often that right after birth, they feel really powerful and unstoppable. So that's an anchor that I use for a lot of my clients. We get them to remember that moment. Feel the bed under you, look around, see the people who love you, hear their babies cry, feel the hospital gown against your skin. What smells did you smell? What sounds could you hear in that room? And we just revivify that moment. And as those feelings start to come back, I have them push that anchor in, and the subconscious mind uses the law of association, and they create something that every time they do that, they are able to feel that energy. So now they can use that energy in their business. Now they can use that energy in their fitness journey. But that's what anchors are, and that's how you build it. What's up, people who just coming in? Tap the screen, share the live. How long have I been a hypnotist? I've been studying hypnosis since I've been about 14. I'll be 34 in January, so like 2 decades, man. You have to move. It's whatever you choose. You can cross your fingers for an anchor. You could push 2 fingers together. You could pull your ear. I always like for my clients to pick something that you don't mind doing in the middle of your office. Pick something you don't mind doing in the middle of a meeting. So you might not want to be pulling your ear in the middle of a meeting. So I'm a real big fan of just putting them in the fingers. So I could be talking to you on my live, and I could do something like this off camera, and you'll never know I was activating the anchor. So I like you to pick something that you could do just in plain sight. Another way that I use anchors in hypnosis sessions is I'll use colors. Like if I do a quit smoking session with somebody, I might say something like, each and every time you see the color red, it will remind you at a subconscious level that you have zero desire to suck cancer out of a straw. You have zero desire to rob yourself of time with your children because you are a healthy non-smoker each and every time you see the color red. So it's several ways to build anchors. Your only limit when it comes to anchors is your own imagination. Your only limit when it comes to anything is your own imagination. But we're talking specifically about anchors. A color can be an anchor, a word can be an anchor, a sound can be an anchor, a song can be an anchor, a smell can be an anchor. So when I explain it, obviously I gotta narrow it down, or I would never get finished explaining it to you. But if you take those concepts that we just talked about, you can apply that to literally anything. It's all about the law of association. What's going on, Heather? Thanks for the tips. How many of y'all is y'all's first time in here kicking it with me? If it is your first time in here, I'm Coach Jay. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. I coach bosses. I work with a lot of executives, 7, 8, 9-figure entrepreneurs, athletes. I'm a firm believer that every problem is a thinking problem. If you change your thinking, you'll accidentally solve the problems. Most people's biggest problem is that they're working on the problem. New here? Welcome to the family, Nikki. Welcome to the family, War Clothes. Make sure y'all hit that follow button. And tonight, usually, most of the times I just get on here and lecture. I don't really feel like lecturing tonight. So we're doing like a Q&A. Anything you guys ask me, I'm going to answer. If I don't know the answer, I'm going to make some shit up. Don't worry, it's going to sound really good. No, I'm just playing with you. If I don't know the answer, I don't have any problem saying I don't know. I'll tell you I don't know if I don't know. But I got a lot of smart friends. Even if I don't know, I can reach out to one of my really smart friends. I can get an answer for you. But yeah, man. Yeah. Every problem is a thinking problem. I don't care. Oh, thank you. Get your daily heartbeats. Follow Nikki. Just like Nikki did. Y'all saw the heartbeat pop up on the screen. If you don't got your heartbeat, get your heartbeat. That's going to put you in the fan club. That's going to sign you up for our notifications so you can catch us when I go live. And you want to turn my notifications on because I don't stream on the schedule. I stream when I feel like it. One of my big pushes for getting into entrepreneurship was I wanted to do things when I wanted to do things. I want to wake up when I want to wake up. I want to go to bed when I want to go to bed. I want to pick and choose who I work with. That's one of the reasons I went into entrepreneurship. So I go live when I want to go live. I don't like streaming on the schedule. Sometimes I might feel like streaming at 8 p.m. Sometimes I might not feel like streaming at 8 p.m. So if you want to be able to catch the lives, make sure you turn on the notifications so that you can catch the lives. And also, if you're not following the YouTube channel, you're missing out. We got over 700 videos on the YouTube channel. It's videos of me lecturing. It's videos of me doing street hypnosis. It's videos of me doing hypnotherapy. It's guided videos that you can listen to, videos to help you manifest money, videos to help you with the law of detachment, videos to help you manifest. It's over 700 videos. So it's a lot of videos on there about various topics. It's stuff on there to entertain you. It's stuff on there to motivate you, inspire you, all types of stuff. YouTube is I Coach Boss. It's all one word. And if you click the link in my bio, it'll also give you the link to the YouTube channel. It'll also give you the link to the YouTube channel. Yeah, freedom. So I always tell my clients, don't confuse what you want with what you think you gotta do to get it. Don't confuse the checklist with what you want. Somebody might come to me and say, Coach Jay, can you hypnotize me to go to the gym 3 times a week? I say, absolutely. But first things first, what do you want? That's what I just told you. I want to go to the gym 3 times a week. No, you don't. You don't need to get hypnotized to do things that you want to do. That's what you think you got to do to get what you really want. What do you really want? Coach Jay, I want to go to the gym 3 times a week. No, you don't. You wouldn't need my help. If you just wanted to go to the gym 3 times a week, you would start going to the gym 3 times. What do you want? And what you got to realize about the subconscious mind is that the subconscious mind runs off feeling and emotion. It doesn't run off logic. It doesn't run off reason, analysis, willpower, decision making. All of those are facets of the conscious mind. The subconscious mind runs off feeling and emotion. So what really helps when you need to get that emotional leverage is you need to think about what you really want at a selfish level. What you really want at a selfish level. Those things that you are embarrassed to even say out loud. Coach Jay, I want to work out 3 times a week. No, you don't. What do you want? Coach Jay, I want to work out 3 times. No, you don't. Why do you want to work out 3 times a week? Well, my doctor said. I don't care what your doctor said. If your doctor's saying it was going to make you change, you would have changed. What my wife said, I don't care what your wife said. I got my own woman to listen to. What do you want? Coach Jay, if I'm being honest, my erections haven't been as hard as they used to be. I want rock hard erections. I want stamina for adult activity. That's the leverage that we need to rewire the subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind doesn't care about your blood pressure and your A1C and your glucose levels. The conscious mind cares about that stuff, but your subconscious mind runs off feeling and emotion. What's those petty reasons that you want what you want? That's the leverage that we need to rewire your subconscious mind. And the longer you dance around that, the more money you got to give me. But when you eventually give me the real leverage, we're going to get you there quick. Peel back those layers. What do you want? Coach Jay, I want a mansion. No, you don't. What do you want? Coach Jay, on quantum leaping, it's possible. But quantum leaping it's so many different words to describe the same thing. Quantum leaping is creating your desired reality really, really fast. That's what you want. You don't want to know how to quantum leap. You want to know how to get what you want now. Like that's what you want. You don't care if it's quantum leaping. You don't care if it's Reiki. You don't care if it's hypnosis. You don't care. Quantum leaping is not what you want. Jay, how do I get it now? That's what you're asking. How do I get it right now? How do I get it? Like skip the bullshit. How do I get it now? That's what you're asking. Like a lot of times I'll be streaming and people ask me like, well, is this different? Is faith different than knowing? Like we can spend time unpacking that, but who cares? Get on the frequency. And the stronger the frequency, the stronger the pull. Get in the feeling right now. Think about it. When you feel angry, you'll accidentally start knocking shit over. When you feel angry, you might accidentally curse somebody out. When you feel angry, you accidentally stomp your feet, slam the door, raise your voice. You don't got to use willpower to do none of those things. Those are natural results of feeling angry. What you think gonna happen if you learn how to feel successful? What do you think gonna happen if you learn how to feel successful? You're going to accidentally put your shoulders back, put your chest out, put your chin up, and start talking like a successful person. You're going to accidentally start reading books that successful people read. You're going to accidentally start listening to podcasts that successful people listen to. You're going to accidentally start being successful out there. Neville Goddard wasn't lying when he said feeling is the secret. Feeling really is the secret. Anthony Jacquin, one of my mentors, says that rule number one to being a hypnotist is being a hypnotist. You gotta be a hypnotist. You can read all the books, you can go to all the seminars, you can get all the certifications and all the degrees, but if you skip rule number one, none of the other stuff will work. You gotta be a hypnotist. Something in the way that you walk in the room, something in the way that you stand, something in the way that you position yourself. The look in your eyes gotta say that my words are powerful and I can influence people. If you don't do that, none of the other stuff will work. You gotta be a hypnotist. But what if I told you the step one to being an entrepreneur is being an entrepreneur? It's not learning about funnels. It's not learning how to close a sale. It's not learning how to influence people. You gotta be an entrepreneur. How do you walk your clients through healing their nervous system? I get them crystal clear about what they want. So my proprietary system is something that I call the 5 C's. I came up with the 5 C's about 7-8 years ago because I got to a place where I was getting jealous of my clients. I'm gonna be honest with you, I was getting jealous of my clients. I was looking at the results that I was helping them get and I was going, my life's straight. But if I can turn somebody who smokes 2 packs of cigarettes a day into a non-smoker in under 2 hours, it should be looking better. If I can help people build unshakable confidence, it should be better. If I got professional athletes paying me to help them play at the highest level, my life should be looking better than it's looking. So I started getting jealous of my clients. So what I initially did is I said, okay, every Wednesday at 11 a.m., I'm putting myself on my schedule. And I hired me as my coach. I hired me as my hypnotist. But then I ran into a problem. I couldn't figure out how to reverse engineer my process on me. I knew how to do it for my clients. It's easy for me to do it for my clients. But when I was trying to do that same thing on me, I kept hitting a brick wall. And for the first time, I understood why lawyers don't defend themselves in court, or why a surgeon wouldn't operate on his children or his wife, because I was so close to what I had going on that I couldn't see it. So I started looking for another hypnotist, and unfortunately, I couldn't find nobody else that was good as me. I found people who was close, but I couldn't find nobody who was good as me, and I ain't never been a second best type of person. So what I started doing is I started recording every session. And I would listen back to my sessions, and I figured out it was 5 things that I did in every session, always in this order. I didn't move to step 2 till we was finished with step 1. Didn't move to step 3 till we was finished with step 2, and so forth. So that's how we came up with the 5 C's. The first C is clarity. Clarity. You can't get what you want until you know what you want. I've realized that most people are experts at what they don't want. They can dot every I, they can cross every T when it comes to telling you what they don't want. I don't like my job. This bitch Rachel, she thinks she got her master's degree, that she's all that. She be micromanaging us, and she don't know anything. I do everything. She don't even do nothing. Yada 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 yada. She think I don't know that she ate my lunch out the fridge, but I know her big ass ate my lunch. And they'll go on and on and on. And I say, okay, well, what do you want? Jay, I don't know. I just know I can't keep doing this. Cool. So when we talk about what you don't want, you got storage, you got proof, you got evidence, you got jokes, you got emotional, you got all of this evidence around what you don't want. But when I ask you what you do want, Jay, I don't know. I just know I can't keep doing this. Which one do you think your nervous system is going to follow? What's going on, Master Johnson? Which one do you think your endocrine system is going to follow? If you got all of this momentum around what you don't want, and when we start talking about what you want, it's just, I don't know. I can't keep doing this. I want to be happy. What does that mean? So, my first order of business is always to get crystal clear about what it is that you want. I don't care about what you don't want. You're already an expert in what you don't want. That's why you got so much of it. So if we got an hour to spend together, why would we spend an hour talking about what you don't want? And when you're an expert at what you don't want, this is the example that I use to explain to my clients. Imagine if I'm your taxi driver and I pull up to pick you up. And I say, where do you want to go? And you say, I don't want to go to the mall. I hate the mall. It's too expensive. I'm not paying $300 for one pair of shoes. I'm not doing it. All those teenagers up there wearing those ski masks and those jackets, and it's 98 degrees. I don't know what's wrong with this generation. Actually, I do know what's wrong with this generation. You know, what do you want? Where do you want to go? And that's how most people walk through life. They walk through life complaining about what they don't want, talking about what they don't want. They get on the phone with their friends and they talk about what they don't want. They get their journal and they talk about and they write about what they don't want. They get on TikTok and they watch videos about what they don't want and they send it to their friend and go, bitch, who is this? This me, ain't it? Who this remind you of? And you wonder why you got so much of it in your life. So our very first step is to get clarity about what you want. All right, so do we got you laughing because it's true. Let me know when I start lying. When I stop lying, I want y'all to stop tapping. When I start lying, I want y'all to stop tapping the screen. But as long as I'm telling the truth, I want you to keep tapping the screen. Did I lie yet? That's what people do. Where attention goes, energy flows. They put all of this attention on what they don't want, then wonder why they get so much of it. So my first order of business is clarity. What do you want? What do you want? I used to be in the military. I hated being in the military. You know why I hated being in the military? Because I couldn't grow my beard. You know why I hated being in the military? Because I couldn't wear my nose ring. You know why I hated being in the military? Because I had to wear camouflage every day. They told me where to live. And I was going live back then, but I would get in trouble for stuff that I said on my live. I didn't like it. But for the longest time, I would find other people who was in the military who didn't like it. Oh, you was in the military too? That's what's up. That's what's up. But for the longest time, what I would do is I would find other people who was in the military and we would talk about how we didn't like being in the military. We would complain about how we didn't like in the military. And the whole while we were talking, the whole while we was complaining, we kept going on TDYs. We kept going on deployments. We kept re-enlisting. We kept extending. We kept being in the military. You know, when my life changed on accident, when I say, I don't like this, you know what I want? I want to grow my beard. I want to wear my nose ring. I don't want to work. I want to play. I want to get paid to do things that I would do for free. I love hypnosis. I love psychology. I love human behavior. I love entrepreneurship. I want to get paid to hypnotize entrepreneurs. I want to coach bosses. Now, as I started having that conversation, I accidentally started reading different books. As I started talking about that, I accidentally started listening to podcasts. I accidentally started looking at things on YouTube. I accidentally started moving in that direction as I started having that conversation. And that brings us to the second C. So the first C is clarity. Put clarity in the comments. I got to make sure y'all keeping up. I got to make sure y'all awake. I know it's getting a little late. So after you get clarity, this is what you got to do. After you get clarity, you got to start calibrating to your clarity. There we go. Okay, I got some people awake here. So since y'all awake, I'll stay on here and kick it with y'all all night. So after I got clarity, I had to start calibrating to what I want. Calibration is simple. Calibration is about putting your attention on it. Let me ask you something. When you calibrate to a scary movie, do you got to try to get scared or do you just got to calibrate to the movie? If you calibrate to a funny movie, do you got to try to laugh or do you just got to calibrate to the movie? If you calibrate to a sad movie, do you got to try to get sad or do you just got to calibrate to the movie? If it's somebody in your life that you think is attractive, if it's somebody in your life you go, damn, they sexy. When you look at them, when you put your attention on them, do you got to try to get aroused or do you just got to put your attention on them and let your imagination do what your imagination does? The same thing happens when you get an attractive goal. When you get a goal that excites you, when you get a goal that you're truly attracted to, you don't got to try to get inspired. You don't got to try to get motivated. Just calibrate to the goal. Start talking about the goal. Start focusing on the goal. Start reading books about the goal. Start listening to podcasts about the goal. Then what's going to happen is it's going to accidentally change the way you think and feel. You're going to come up with some real good ideas on accident. You're going to build a network of people around you on accident. You're going to accidentally start leaning into that goal. So are we clear on what the first two steps are? First step is to get clear about what you want. That's clarity. Second step is start calibrating to that goal. My favorite method of calibration is hypnosis. But if you aren't working with a hypnotist or you don't know how to do self-hypnosis, you got affirmations. I'm not a big fan of affirmations, but they do work. It's just stuff that work quicker. You got vision boards, you got affirmations, you got incantations, you got scripting, you got journaling. Calibration is about putting your attention on it. That's what calibration is. The third C is confidence. EFT tapping. All of this is all of those are forms of Reiki is calibration. Sound therapy is calibration. A solution-based therapist is calibrating. A therapist, it is a solution-based. He's going to calibrate you to the trauma, and you're going to stay stuck and on the couch week after week after week. But a solution-based therapist is calibrated. Okay, so the third C is confidence. Confidence is not something that you force. Confidence is not something that you make happen. Confidence is the natural result of calibrating. If you keep calibrating, you're going to accidentally become confident. Clear, calibrated, and confident is what I call the foundation of success. So my goal is to remind people all over the world that they can be, do, and have anything they desire. Their only limit is their own imagination. I want to make a lot of money doing it. I want to have fun and remind people who they are. That's my goal. My primary focus is entrepreneurs, but sometimes it spills outside of entrepreneurs because what we do is powerful and word gets around. That's my goal. I'm clear about what I want. I'm calibrated to what I want, and I'm confident in what I want. So because I'm clear, calibrated, and confident, when I go live, I don't give a damn if it's 2 people in the live or 2,000 people in the live. This is the energy I bring to the live. This is the tone that I bring to the live. Every time I go live, follow me. Y'all gonna show up. You gonna come in my live. Sometimes it might be 120 people in here. It's gonna be the same level of energy. You gonna come in my live. Sometimes it's gonna be 3 people in here. This is gonna be my same level of energy because I'm calibrated inwardly. That number don't got control over me. That's the power of being clear, calibrated, and confident. When you clear, calibrated, and confident, you don't really give a damn what they say on CNN. You can go to the recession if you want to, but I'm already calibrated to my abundance. When you clear, calibrated, and confident, you don't care if your friends not sharing your stuff on Facebook. When you're unclear, uncalibrated, and unconfident, you need people clapping or you feel like it's not working. Well, you need 100 people in the room where you feel like it's not working. You need the weather to be a certain way. You need to see a certain number in the bank account. You need the calendar a certain way. That's what happens when you try to calibrate to reality. Reality is finicky. People who are cheering for you today might very well be booing you tomorrow. It's too expensive to calibrate to reality. What you got to do is get clear, calibrated, and confident in your goal. So before we go to these last 2 C's, do we got any questions about the first 3? Get clear about what you want. Calibrate to what you want, and you keep calibrating over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until you accidentally become confident. And confident is just when your nervous system starts to do the calibrating for you. Confidence is when your nervous system starts picking up that energy for you. It becomes your personality. So when you first start calibrating, you're going to be using willpower. We were talking about anchors earlier. You're going to be using anchors to calibrate. You're going to be using colors that calibrate. You're going to be using statements. I always tell my clients, you don't use willpower to change your habits. You use willpower to change your mind. And that's what that calibration phase is. The calibration phase is when you're using willpower to start thinking different. But when you think different, you'll accidentally act different. So I don't see any questions coming up in the chat. So I'm assuming we're good on clarity, calibration, and confidence. Y'all ready for the 4th C? If you're ready for the 4th C, say 4th C in the chat. I got to make sure y'all keeping up. I know the 5 C's. I invented them. So I need to make sure y'all know because I'm not saying them for my health. I know them. I live them. I teach them all day long. Say 4th C if y'all ready to go. What's going on, She Loves? How you doing? What's going on? What is up? What is up? What is up? Thanks for the taps. Appreciate you. 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 Y'all ready for the 4th one? I don't know. I ain't seen it pop up on here yet. I know it'd be a little lag. So I'm going to give y'all some time. But if you're ready for the 4th C, we're not moving on till y'all say 4th C. Put it in the chat. Let's see it. Let's see it. Let's see it. What's going on, 369? How you doing? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. There we go. Okay. Hella saved y'all because I wasn't moving until I saw it. Okay, so the fourth C is competence. Competence. Now, step 4 is not step 1. Step 4 is step 4. Step 4 is where we start doing stuff. Step 4 is where we start doing stuff. Step 1 is not, you don't start doing stuff on step 1. A lot of times people say, oh, I'm gonna start a business. And they go right into building a website. They go right into networking. They go right into doing stuff. But how do you think it's gonna work out if you build a website and you unclear, uncalibrated, and unconfident? I primarily work with entrepreneurs. So a lot of times I'll get a new client and I start looking through their website. As I'm looking through their website, I'm confused. I don't know what they do. I don't know if you're a financial advisor. I don't know if you do taxes. I don't know if you're a bookkeeper. I don't know if I'm supposed to be booking you to give a talk. I don't know if I'm supposed to be hiring you to manage my book. I don't know what you do. And if I don't know what you do, how the hell am I supposed to spend money with you? So I can tell that when you build this site, you are unclear, uncalibrated, and unconfident. Makes sense? Get clear, calibrated, and confident, and then build a website. I'll have clients sometimes say, hey, you got to start networking. They say, oh, coach, I tried networking. Networking don't work. Networking works. But if you unclear, uncalibrated, and unconfident, and you out networking, it's not gonna work. So what do you do? Oh man, well, I do a little bit of everything. You know, I write a little bit. I'm trying to get into speaking. I'm unclear, uncalibrated, unconfident. What's going on, reality twister? So of course networking not working if you unclear, uncalibrated, and unconfident. Get clear, calibrated, and confident, and go back to them same networking events and watch what you do. I know a lot of hypnotists. And I know some hypnotists that make more money than they can count. I know some hypnotists is barely getting by. The biggest difference is the ones that make more money than they count, they're clear, calibrated, and confident. I got a homeboy who's a hypnotist. All he does is quit smoking. All he does is quit smoking sessions. So when you ask him what he do, he said, I help people quit smoking. I don't care if you smoke a pack a day, 2 packs a day, 3 packs a day. Come spend an hour with me and you're gonna leave that room as a non-smoker. So if you a smoker that want to quit smoking and you hear that, you hear the clarity, you hear the calibration, you hear the confidence, you're saying, man, here goes my credit card. Please take it. But now, if that same person, somebody say, what do you do? And you go, well, I'm a hypnotist. And they say, you a hypnotist? That's real? Yeah. What do you do? Oh man, I do everything. I help people quit smoking. Anxiety, PT. I do a lot of stuff. You see the difference? Clarity, calibration, and confidence. If you ask me what I do, I'm gonna say I coach bosses. A boss gonna say, what you mean you coach boss? Oh, I'm a firm believer that every problem is a thinking problem. If you could think that, you can do it. So I don't care if it's I'm stuck at I've hit a revenue ceiling. I've been stuck at this particular earning level for the past 3 years. I don't care if it's, man, I'm making a lot of money, but my wife hates me. I help entrepreneurs with entrepreneur problems. I hypnotize the shit out of them and make that problem disappear quickly. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a boss with a problem, you're like, bro, you got a card on you? You got a card on you? That's the power of clarity, calibration, and confidence. But when you out networking, when you're on TikTok live, when you're making YouTube videos and you're unclear, you're uncalibrated, and you're unconfident, you're saying, oh, Google ads don't work. I tried that. You're right. They don't work if you're unclear, uncalibrated, and confident. But get clear, calibrated, and confident and go spend $1,000 on Google ads and watch what happens to your calendar. TikTok live don't work. You're right. It don't work when you're unclear, uncalibrated, and unconfident. Get clear, calibrated, and confident, and go live every day for 45 days and watch what happens to your calendar. What's going on, Angela? Oh, I tried that. That don't work. Nothing works when you're unclear, uncalibrated, and unconfident. But get clear, calibrated, and confident, and then do step 4. Step 4 is not step 1. Step 4 is step 4. And when you start doing stuff without first becoming clear, calibrated, and confident, it's not going to work. So I'm not saying that you can never date again after your divorce. I'm saying get clear, get calibrated, get confident, then start back dating. I'm not saying that you can't go back to school at 40 or you can't go back to school at 50. I'm saying get clear, get calibrated, get confident, and then go back to school. Suggestions to boost confidence: get clear about what you want, calibrate to what you want, keep calibrating, and you're going to accidentally become confident. What color is this? This is not a rhetorical question. What color is this? Ketchup, mustard. What color is this? Come on. I know that the live lag a little bit. I need y'all to wake up or I'm gonna go to bed. What color is this? It's red. Guess how you know that this is red? Because at some point in your life, somebody calibrated you that this was red. They would sit you down with flashcards. They would sit you down in a say, what color is this? You say red. They say, good job. You're so smart. Look at you. You're so smart. What color is this? Blue. No, it's not blue. Say red. Look at this, red. That's calibration. Through repetition and emotion. Through repetition and emotion. When you got it wrong, they corrected you. And when you got it right, they said, good job. You're so smart, my smart girl, my little smart boy. Through repetition and emotion, they calibrated you that this was red. That's how you know that this is red. So would you say you're confident that this is red or not? It's the same way with mindset. You got to start calibrating yourself to abundance. Same way you study flashcards to learn the definition of words, you got to start studying flashcards. Abundance. What does abundance feel like? Abundance feel like I got choices. Abundance feel like I wake up when I want to wake up and I go to bed when I want to go to bed. Abundance feel like I do what I want to do when I want to do it. And you start calibrating to that feeling through repetition and emotion. What's going on, the real Reed? That's how you become confident, through repetition. Let me ask you this. Have you ever got anxious on purpose? Have you ever got depressed on purpose? Have you ever got overwhelmed on purpose? Or was it just the result of what you were calibrating to? Going back to the examples with the movies. When you calibrate to a sad movie, you don't got to try to get sad. Just calibrate to the movie. When you calibrate to a funny movie, you don't got to try to laugh. Just calibrate to the movie. That person who you find attractive, your celebrity crush, or your husband or your wife, your spouse. Think of somebody you attracted to. Close your eyes and let your imagination do just a little bit of work. You don't got to try to get aroused. Where attention goes, energy flows. Recalibrating my mental to an abundance mindset earlier. And this is the crazy thing about it, real Reed. It's like a shower. You got to do it every day. You got to do it every day. People see me and go, damn, you confident. You should see me every morning when I'm waking up. You should see how I calibrate to confidence every morning. I'm not leaving it to chance. Because a lot of times people make the mistake of they'll calibrate to something, but they stop calibrating to it once they get there. It's like a gas tank. You can't calibrate to abundance once. You got to stay calibrating to it. You got to keep it. It's like a shower. If you take a shower once a week, it ain't gonna do too much good. Sometimes you got to take 2 or 3 of them a day. You got to take them as needed. Yeah, you got to calibrate to abundance every day. Every day. You got to get that momentum going. Because you got to think, you're being calibrated as you go through life. If you look at your bank account and see not enough money, you just got calibrated to lack. If you say, hey, I'm finna do such and such and such, it's gonna be huge, it's gonna be amazing, and your wife roll eyes like, sure, yeah, right, yeah. Your confidence just took a hit. If you're excited about an idea and you telling your best friend about it, they say, well, the market oversaturated. You sure you want to do? Your calibration just took a hit. So as you're going through life, people are working constantly to decalibrate you. You got to stay calibrated into that new direction, or eventually you're going to wake up one day and you're not going to be calibrated to it no more. I used to own a computer repair business. I used to fix computers and design websites. Recently, I went to the town where I grew up in because my grandmother died. So I went to my grandmother's funeral and was down there taking care of all of that stuff. While I was down there, 10, 15 people. Oh, I'm so glad I seen you, man. I got to get you to look at my computer. I don't work on computers no more. I work on minds. I haven't worked on computers in a decade. Oh, Jay, hey, before you leave, you think you can look at my computer? I don't work on computers no more. I work on minds. I'm a hypnotist. I don't program computers anymore. I program Mines. Jay, I'll pay you. I don't do that anymore. The whole everybody that was working to pull me back into my old identity. Now, if I wasn't programming myself to be that every day, they probably would have got me. The first person wouldn't have got me. The second person would have got me. The third person wouldn't have got me. But the fifth person might have got me. The sixth person might would have offered me enough money that I put this identity down to pick my old identity up. Yeah, you got to calibrate to it every day. Every day. Every day. Does that make sense? Every day. You understand that every problem is a thinking problem. Your only limit is your own imagination. Nothing can stop you. A recession can't stop you. A divorce can't stop you. A disease can't stop you. A diagnosis can't stop you. Anxiety can't stop you. PTSD can't stop you. Nothing can stop you. You can focus on any of that shit and decide to quit, but that's not what stopped you. That's just what had your attention when you decided to quit. Does that make sense? Who's in the White House can't stop you. The tariffs can't stop you. The government shutdown can't stop you. You can get distracted by that and get so busy focusing on that you stop calibrating to your goal. And as a result of that, you decide to quit. But that's not what stopped you. That's just what had your attention when you quit. I had a client not too long ago. She said, Jay, I'm just so tired of starting over. I said, okay, well, that's an easy fix. Stop quitting. If you stop quitting, you won't have to start over. You got to start over because you keep quitting. Well, Jay, COVID ruined my business. Did somebody knock on your door and say, hey, due to COVID, you can't keep going? Did some men show up in black suits and say, because of COVID, you can't keep going? Or did you start focusing on COVID and decide that you were throwing in the towel? I've asked that question to a lot of people. Nobody has never said yes. 5 black men showed up at my door with guns and told me I had to quit going. Nobody has ever said yes. So that means you gave up, you quit, you threw in the towel. And sometimes it's smart to throw in the towel, but most of the times it's not. You just felt like you couldn't keep going. So we talked about clarity. We talked about calibration. We talked about confidence. We talked about competence. The last C is consistency. The last C is consistency. You're not going to get clarity once. As you start going, you're going to get more clarity. When I first started doing what I do, I wanted to be booked and busy. So I got clear about what I wanted. I calibrated to what I wanted. I got confident in what I wanted. Then I started doing the things that I needed to do to get booked and busy. I got a landing page. I started going live. I got a funnel that works. I started turning leads into customers, and then I got booked and busy. But when I got booked and busy, I got new clarity. I don't like being booked and busy. I don't want to be booked and busy. I want to quadruple my price so I can keep making the same money, but I don't want to have to see 5 people, 6 people a day to make that money. So I got new clarity. So now I had to calibrate to my new clarity. I had to keep calibrating to my new clarity until I became confident in my new clarity. And when I became confident in my new clarity, then I got new ideas. Now it's time to quadruple the price. I don't quadruple the price as soon as I say, it's time to quadruple the price. You knew that was coming. You smart. I don't say, it's time for me to quadruple my price and right away go quadruple my price. I got to calibrate to it. I got to become confident in it. Then when I become confident in it, then I quadruple the price. Then what's going to happen? I'm going to lose 3 customers that were probably getting on my nerves anyway. And then I'm going to make room for customers that appreciate the new price. But does that make sense? You don't get clarity once. As you get clear, calibrated, and confident, and you start doing stuff and you get that result, sometimes you get what you want and you say, I thought I wanted that. I don't really want that. So now you got new clarity. Then you take that new clarity, calibrate to the new clarity. Then you become confident in new clarity. I was working with a coach, and he say, you ever sold a $10,000 package? I say, no, sir. He said, you know why you never sold a $10,000 package? And I say, no. He said, because you don't got one. I looked at your site. I looked at your offers. The reason you've never sold a $10,000 package is because you don't got a $10,000 package. 3 months later, guess what I had? A $10,000 package. But before I could build a $10,000 package, I had to calibrate to a $10,000 package. I had to convince myself that I had enough skills, that I had enough resources, that I had enough value to build a $10,000 package. How do you release the fear that people can't afford you? So you don't focus on releasing the fear. You focus on building the equal opposite of the fear. To every action, there's a equal and opposite reaction. This is one of the things I always do with my clients. I get them to write down a list of the beliefs that are stopping them from manifesting what it is that they want. What are the beliefs that support that fear? Because the fear is a result of beliefs. The fear isn't showing up out of thin air. Does that make sense? That fear is supported by beliefs. So what are the beliefs that support that fear? So you might write down something like, I'm not good enough. It takes time to feel value. So I'm going to go belief by belief and say, what's the equal opposite of that belief? I'm not good enough. I was born good enough. God sent me here to do this. The same God that put acorns inside of oak trees, he put this gift inside of me. And if God can fit an acorn inside of an oak tree, I can only imagine what he fit inside of me. I haven't even hit my final form. This is the worst I will ever be. We're going to install that belief in your nervous system. We ain't got to worry about that other belief, because we're going to build this belief in such a powerful way that belief don't stand a chance running up against this belief. And the energy that we were using to keep the old belief alive, we're going to start using that energy to feed the new belief. We're not going to break the old belief. We're not going to analyze the old belief. We're not going to unpack the old belief. We're going to starve it to death. We're going to take your consciousness, because you got to understand, the belief is using your consciousness. The belief is using your attention. The belief is using your nervous system. The belief is using your endocrine system to sustain itself. If you stop letting the belief use your endocrine system, if you stop letting the belief use your nervous system, if you stop letting the belief use your imagination, it loses all its power. So a lot of times people will accidentally energize the belief and get the belief more power, because they're trying to assign blame, they're trying to unpack it, they're trying to do a whole bunch of childhood work. And I'm not saying that it's never times where that's not necessary. I've had clients where we do got to go in and do that work, but 90% of the time we don't. Build the new belief, and we build a new belief so strong that it completely overrides the new neurology, and you get the results that you want. Sometimes the belief is stubborn and it won't leave. Then we'll do parts work, we'll do childhood work, we got a big bag of tools if we need to directly go in and get the belief out. But most times the belief is not strong. You just have got really good at keeping it alive. And we get really creative when it comes to defending our limitations. Well, Jay, maybe I did something at a session. a session. We knocked that out in a session. But what typically happens is new levels, new devils. You get to that new level, then you meet some new things that you never encountered before, and we start to work on those things. A lot of people have a belief. So every truth is a half truth. Every truth is a half truth, right? So if you got a belief that change takes time, that's true in your life. One of the things we're going to do in the first session is convince you that change can happen in an instant. Now, once you adopt the belief that change can happen in an instant, change can now happen in an instant. Now, if you don't got a belief that change can happen in an instant, your subconscious mind is not going to allow change to happen in an instant. Once we get that belief moving in your subconscious mind, and you believe with every cell in your body, with every fiber in your body, that change can happen in an instant, you'll be surprised what you could do with a snap of the finger. Change is, think about it. If you can develop PTSD through one experience, you didn't have to study it, you didn't have to replay it in your mind, you didn't have to say, okay, see you next week and we're gonna explode again and we're gonna practice. You didn't have to go live it 10 times to develop PTSD. I always tell my clients, if it'll work in that direction, it'll work in that direction. Change doesn't have to take a long time. It doesn't. Now, it's sometimes where we might have to go several rounds, but most of the times it doesn't take a long time. Get clear about what you want. Get calibrated to what you want. Keep calibrating until you become confident in what you want. Then you're going to get some ideas. You're going to get some inspiration. You're going to get some pushes, like from your subconscious mind saying, do this, do this, do that. All of those. I'm not saying don't do it. One of the things that I'm always really hard on my clients about is when we are like putting you on a new frequency, your reactions matter. Your reactions matter. You can say affirmations, you can look at vision boards, but one response can undo thousands of affirmations. Imagine if you're in a relationship with somebody. This is an example I used earlier. Imagine if you're in a relationship with somebody and that person is telling you, I'll die for you. I'll lay my life down for you. You're so important to me. You matter so much for me. To me, I'll lay my life down for you. Wouldn't even have to think about it. But then y'all end up in an event where they have to lay their life down for you. Y'all, somebody shows up trying to rob you at gunpoint. They pull a gun on you and that person runs off and leaves you there. Do you think those 1,000 affirmations that they gave you are going to matter? Or are you gonna say you a liar? No, you wouldn't. That's how reality works. So I can say I am fit, I am lean, I am fit, I am lean, I am fit, I am lean. My metabolism is A1. My metabolism is A1. But if I eat a sleeve of Oreos, that's a powerful affirmation. That's a powerful affirmation too. And I can say I am fit, I am lean 1,000,000 times, but when I eat that sleeve of Oreos, that just overrode those 1,000,000 affirmations. So if you saying I am abundant, money comes to me easily and effortlessly. I am abundant, money comes to me easily and effortlessly. Welcome to the family, real. I'll be talking to you whenever you schedule your call. I got my computer right here. Let me see when I'll be talking to you. Probably Monday or Tuesday. Let me see. Okay, I see you in here. Strategy call booked. Okay, I got you here. I see you. See you soon. See you soon. See you soon. But does that make sense? So when you're stepping into this new frequency, pricing, man. So I do my best to make what we do affordable to everybody. Our cheapest services start around $249. They go all the way up to $20,000, just depending on how much hands-on access you want, how much access you need, how much hand-holding you want. But I try my best to make it as affordable as I can to people who are developing, because a lot of people who need this stuff just started a business or they in a new area of life. So I start things like our pre-made hypnosis recordings and different courses you could buy. I price those at about $249. But if you really want me to like sit down and walk you through things step by step, we got things that go all the way up into several $1,000s. It just depends. What's the benefits of tapping into your lives? I don't understand your question, agent. Can you ask me in a different way? Because I want to make sure I'm answering what you're asking me, and the way you're asking it, I don't understand what you thought. For sure, real. And there have been studies did, and entrepreneurs, this is very important. They've been like intensive studies shown that the average person has spent about 7 hours with you before they're ready to invest. So that 1 30-second TikTok video not gonna do it. If you went viral once, but you was doing a dance and not adding value, sorry, that's not gonna do it. You got to show up time and time again, and you got to stop confusing not finished with not working. Just because it's not working yet, just because it's not done yet, doesn't mean that it's not working. It's not finished yet. For sure. What type of art you do? What type of art you do? I got an empty wall in my office, and I haven't figured out what I want to put there yet. So every time I meet an artist, and that's another thing you gotta like understand as an entrepreneur. That's another thing you gotta understand as an entrepreneur. There are people out there who are actively looking for what you said. But what do you enjoy doing? Like, what's the paintings you do that don't feel like work? There are people what you got to understand about manifesting. Manifesting is this is the part of manifesting that most people don't talk about because it's not that popular. One of the things that you should be is because it's a few different things you should be asking yourself. We talk about like the 7 layers of frequency. What gets me most excited to create? Reminding people who they are. Reminding people of who they are. I'm a firm believer that as humans, there's nothing that we can't do. And I firmly believe that we are born knowing that. But and usually from a place of love, our parents help us to forget who we are. Our teachers help us to forget who we are. The media and TV helps us to forget who we are. But I love helping people get back to that factor. Like, I don't know when the last time you've been around a 2-year-old, but a 2-year-old will literally jump off a table, bust their knee open, and they'll cry for a little bit. And by the time you get them bandaged up and cleaned up, they're right back on that same table, ready to jump again. Oh, you meant to tag? Oh, okay, I got you. My name is Art. I am Art. Draw, paint, sculpt, collage, sculpture, writing, directing, modeling. I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna go check out your stuff when you got some stuff on here on TikTok. Somebody just downloaded one of the audios. Shout out to you. Omni-channel. I'm gonna have to check you out. Just downloaded one of the audios. Shout out to you. Omni-channel. I'm gonna have to check you out. I'm gonna check it out when I'm done screening. Anybody got any questions about anything? Oh man, y'all got us up to 20,000 taps. Appreciate the love. Y'all showing love. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I think I like you, Art. I think I do. I just met you, but I think I like you. If you don't like it, share it with someone who does. I like it, man. It is funny. What's going on, Terry? If you don't like it, share it with someone who does. I'm using that. Yo, if you don't like the live, if you don't like what's going on, before you leave, share it with somebody who might like it. Stay funny. Funny is very easy to turn into income. All right, do we got any questions? We talked about the 5 C's: clarity, calibration, confidence, competence, consistency. Do we understand how the 5 C's work? Okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm gonna give you a real life example about how I would use the 5 C's if somebody came to me. Somebody came to me and said, Coach J, I gotta lose some weight. Cool. First thing I'm gonna say is, what number do you want to see on the scale? This is clarity. What number do you want to see on the scale? What size shirt do you want to wear? Cool. What size jeans do you want to wear? What's some of the stores that you want to shop at now, but they don't quite got clothes that are appealing to your size? But when you see the number on the scale, what's some of the stores you're gonna start going to? What's some of the health benefits? What's some of the energy benefits? What's some of the other things that you're looking forward to about being at this weight? Okay, being at the beach with your shirt off or with your 2-piece. Cool, I'm making it clear about what they want. Step 1, after I get clear about what they want, I'm gonna start calibrating them to what they want. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, listen to my voice. Listen to my voice and allow my voice to begin to alter your reality. And I want you to think about that scale that you got at your house. Nod your head when you can vividly see that scale in your mind. Good. I want you to imagine standing on that scale. As a matter of fact, describe that scale to me. It's clear. It has like 2 silver strips on each side. We got these black digital letters at the top. Okay. I want you to imagine standing on the top of that scale, when you can feel that scale under your feet, when you can feel the weight of your body pushing down on that scale. Give me a head nod so that I understand. Good. Look down and tell me, what number did you see? 260 and 154. Good. Okay. So as you look down at that scale and you see 154, how does that feel? What's gonna happen? You're gonna see their shoulders go back, you're gonna see their chest go out, you're gonna see their chin go up. Okay. So you looking down at this scale, you see 154, you feeling confident, you feeling sexy. Good, good, good. Now imagine your spouse just walked in. How's your spouse looking at you while you're standing on this scale weighing 154? Oh yeah. Oh, they biting their lip? What does that mean? This is calibration. So your spouse looking at you, biting their lip, and as you see your spouse looking at you, biting their lip, how do you feel? Coach J, I feel sexy. I feel free. I feel feminine. Cool. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. That's calibration. We're gonna keep calibrating till you become confident in this new calibration. That's the first 3 C's. Clear, calibrated, confident. You know what you want, you calibrated in what you want, and you confident in what you want. Now that you clear, calibrated, and confident, step 4, competence. Now it's time to start going to Planet Fitness. Or if you say, Coach J, I don't really like going to, I don't really like people looking at me. I don't like the attention, yada, yada, yada. Okay, you like dancing? Coach J, I love dancing. I want you to start dancing 30 minutes a day. That's it. I want you to start dancing 30 minutes a day. Now that you clear, calibrated, and confident, the cells in your body actually believe that it's possible. Your endocrine system has been there, has experienced the weight being off of you. You're gonna start dancing 30 minutes a day. And I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna see you in a week. Coach J, you're not gonna believe this. I lost 2 pounds in 1 week. I do believe it because this is what we do. That's the power of being clear, calibrated, and confident. And now that you've started seeing some results, your confidence just went up plus 10. So now instead of, I told you to dance 30 minutes a day. Now you on your own, you taking it upon yourself to dance an hour a day. And I see you again next week. You say, Coach J, you're not gonna believe this. I lost 3 pounds. Yes, I can. This is what we do. This is what I do every day. And now you're going to apply that last C, which is consistency. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep getting clear, calibrated, and confident over and over and over and over and over again. Then eventually you're going to drop enough weight and you're going to start seeing a different result. And now that insecurity that you had going going to the gym, that's gone. Now you done got a gym membership. Coach Jay, the other day I was driving home from work and I saw a billboard that said they had gym memberships for $9.99. I said, what the hell? Why not? I went in, got a gym membership, and I didn't do much, but I got on the treadmill for like 45 minutes, and I'm proud of myself. Oh, and by the way, I lost another 2 pounds. And we're going to do that for about 3 months. We're going to keep losing 1 to 2 pounds a week for 3 or 4 months consistently. And you're going to lose 100 pounds. That's how the 5 C's work. Does that make sense? See how we fix what's going on in here and in here first before we ever worry about changing what's out there. You don't got to change what's going on out there. You got to change what's going on in your head and what's going on in your heart. When you change what's going on in your head and what's going on in your heart, you accidentally build new behavior. You accidentally raise your confidence. Most people try to work on what's going on out there and they don't even bother to change what's going on in here and in here. But that's equivalent to if one of you guys say, hey, Coach J, is something on your face? And instead of wiping my face, I started wiping my phone screen. I said, what the hell? It won't come off. Hold on, let me go get a spray. And I get a sponge and I'm scrubbing I don't care how hard I scrub the phone. I don't care how much spray I spray on the phone. The problem isn't on the phone. The problem is on my face. What I see on the phone is a reflection of the problem. I don't care how hard you work on the debt. If you don't change what's going on in here and in here, the debt is going to continue to get bigger. I don't care how hard you work on the number on the scale. If you don't work on what's going on in here and in here, the number is going to keep going up. I don't care how hard you work on your marriage, how hard you work on your boss, how hard you work on your job. If you don't change what's going on in here and in here, the problem is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. You got to change what's going on inside. Every problem is a thinking problem. It's going to be done on earth as it is in heaven, as above, so below. You don't gotta. I always tell my clients, you don't gotta use willpower to change what's going on out there. You got to use willpower to change what's going on in here. I have a better elevator pitch and think up for this push. I co-create with my creator. I'm, tr- I'm trying to figure out what you mean. I have a better elevator. You saying you got a better elevator pitch for think up? Retype it. I think this is part right here. This think up for this confuses me. Retype that. Thank you. That's what. Okay. Thank you. That's what I do. Okay. Bet. I had got sidetracked. I'm gonna be landing in a moment. Before I get off, we got any questions? Okay, I got you. Before I get off here, before we got any questions, comments, concerns, anything at all, I am at you guys' service. I am at you guys' service. Anything at all. So with the stuff that we talk about in this live, you do it until it starts to feel like work. When it starts feeling like work, you done. Because when it feels like work, that means you're out of the subconscious and in the conscious. And it's not about reprogramming the conscious. The conscious already knows everything we talked about. It's about getting the subconscious on track. So you play with this stuff as long as it feels good. The instant it starts to feel like work, it's time to go do something else. For sure, Nikki. Thanks for pulling up. You do it until it starts to feel like work. Then it's time to stop. What's going on, Fiera? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, Ja? How you doing? Talk to you Monday. Can't wait. I'm excited. I'm excited. Good night. Good night. Good night. What's going on, Dion? How you doing? So we're still chilling for right now, but I'm definitely slowing down. We're definitely coming to a close. Definitely. My daughter, she doing amazing. So y'all, my daughter had brain surgery and she wasn't even in the hospital 24 hours. The surgeon came to see us the next day. He was like, "This never happens." But I have absolutely no reason to keep her here. She's eating, she's having bowel movements, she can walk, she's good. There's no reason for her to be here. What if a person falls asleep during the session? I'll wake you up. Because hypnosis isn't sleep. It's a few steps above sleep. And I actually want the conscious mind and the subconscious mind talking to each other. So I want the conscious mind out of the way, but I don't want it completely offline because I want the subconscious mind to send these changes back into the conscious mind. So if you go to sleep, I'll just wake you up. I will wake you up. Yeah, baby girl's doing good. Back at school and everything. Yep. And her surgeon was like, man, I've been doing this for a long time. I've never seen somebody recover this quickly. That's the power of suggestion, Doc. That's the power of the subconscious mind. What's going on, KTO? How you doing? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Yeah, man. I'm so proud of my baby. I'm so proud of her. Especially as a child. Children are so malleable. Like a lot of times we think children can't handle certain things. Children are so malleable. They're so flexible. Got to think their neuroplasticity is lucid as it ever will be. They're hyper suggestible. So how you phrase things, how you deliver news is everything when dealing with children. For sure, for sure. For sure, for sure. And that's my right hand. So that's my little hypnotist right there. That's my right hand. What's going on, Chief? What's going on, Mario? How y'all doing? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Any more questions, y'all? Any more questions before we land this plane? If you guys aren't subscribed to the YouTube channel, you gotta fix that. Let me show y'all the YouTube channel. Give me a second. Let me show y'all this real quick. We got over 700 videos. You new here? Welcome to the family. You got a question? What's your question, gorgeous? Let me show y'all the YouTube channel. We got over 700 videos. So I put a lot of the TikTok live replays on the YouTube. A lot of those on there, but I also put a lot of hypnosis recordings on the YouTube. Hypnosis for manifesting. Control your emotions. Manifesting on autopilot. If you can think it, you can do it. This is hypnosis. Stop doing affirmations. Do this instead. Morning hypnosis that rewires reality. Self-hypnosis for productivity. We got a lot of. This page is endless. You could spend the next 3 months watching these videos and you wouldn't make it to the end of it. So if you're not on the YouTube, you're missing out. Any recent breakthroughs that I'm especially excited about? Oh man, we get so many every day. First thing that came to mind is I got a 13-year-old hockey player that I've been working with. We did 2 sessions. What happens in hockey is at 13, you age up. And hockey pairs 13 to 16-year-olds together. And you got to know that a 16-year-old is way bigger than a freaking 13-year-old. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but mom reached out because her 13-year-old was now in this league where he was going to be going up against 16-year-olds. And it was paralyzing him. He wasn't going after the puck. He was freezing on the ice. The coach was benching him, and it just wasn't a good. It just wasn't a good thing. So typically, I like to start with a 2-hour session. But him being a kid, him being younger, we got about an hour in, and I could just tell he was done. He was tired. So I called mom. Was like, hey, I'm gonna see him. We're gonna end for the day. I'm gonna see him again next week, and we picked up from there. But this is what happened after 2 sessions. So I text mom. I say, hey, just checking in. How's our boy? She goes, I was actually going to send you a text. We were just in New York. Man, not sure what you said to this boy, but you have unleashed his beast. He's playing like a mini Sidney Crosby. Been scoring goals and having fun playing the game that he loves. He did so good. He got player of the game and player of the tournament and got the team hat. I honestly didn't think he'd get that this season. Thank you. Hold on. That's a text message from mom. That's the power of the subconscious mind. I text her. You can see my text at the top. Hey, just checking in. How's our boy? And this was probably about 3 or 4 days after our last session that we did together. And that's what she had to say. But we got so many of these stories, man. That was the first one that came to mind. But let me see if I got any more on here. Oh, here go another one. So this is somebody that had got one of the custom hypnosis audios. I'll read it to you, then I'll show it to y'all. I said, hey, I ain't gonna say their name. Have you had a chance to listen to your hypnosis yet? She said, I did. I felt a lot of release and healing. I was relaxed and my body felt lifted. So I listened to 432 hertz right after and fell asleep. Woke up to a check deposit. That's the message. I got all their details blotted out. But those things that people call miracles, I see several of those a week. I don't even look at them as miracles because I don't think it's a miracle if that's the way that God designed it to work. God literally said you have not because you ask not. So it's not a miracle if you ask and then you get. That's not a miracle. That's how God set it up. You just were operating out of order. You weren't having dominion. You were following reality instead of forcing reality to follow you. So it's not a miracle when you start telling reality what to do and reality does it. That's not a miracle. That's that's just how it's supposed to work. Does that make sense? Somebody's comment got TikTok didn't like it. They didn't let it come up. I guess it's time for you to go to bed. I said it's programming. I definitely said it's programming. Definitely said it's programming. The subconscious mind, it takes instructions. So when you learn how to talk to it, so how do we do this? How do you do what exactly? What is it? What is it that you want to do? How do I go about hypnotizing people? So if you were in here earlier, you would have heard me talk about what I call the 5 C's. That's my process. But the thing that you got to understand about hypnosis is people are hypnotizing themselves already. If you're experiencing anxiety, you're running self hypnosis. If you're procrastinating, you're already hypnotizing yourself. So really our job as a hypnotist is not so much to hypnotize you, it's to dehypnotize you. You weren't born addicted to cigarettes. You weren't born with a fear of failure. You learned the fear of failure. Your family hypnotized you. Your classmates hypnotized you. Society hypnotized you. Our job as hypnotists is to say, hey, snap out of it. A baby is born with 2 fears. A baby is born with a fear of falling and a fear of loud noises. Any other fear that you have outside of those fears is learned behavior. So our job as hypnotists is to reset the nervous system, get you out of that lie, because that's what it is. It's a lie, and get you back to the truth of who you are. Nothing can stop you. Your only limit is your own imagination. So my specific approach is step one, I got to get you clear about what you want. Most people come to me hypnotized by what they don't want. I don't care what you don't want. What do you want? Coach J, I got to quit smoking. I don't care what you got to do. What do you want? Coach J, my doctor said if I don't quit smoking, I'm a gun. I don't care what your doctor said. What do you want? Well, Coach J, my wife said if I don't quit, I don't care what your wife said. What do you want? Coach J, I got a 3-year-old daughter. Man, she's beautiful. She's everything to me. One day my baby girl is gonna get married, and if I don't put these damn cigarettes down, I might not be around to walk my baby girl down the aisle. I want to walk my daughter down the aisle, Coach J. Now I know what you want. Now that I know what you want, let's get you calibrated to what you want. That has a big enough emotional charge to get you calibrated to what you want. So my job is to calibrate you to walking your daughter down the aisle. And if I compare walking your daughter down the aisle to sucking cancer out of a straw, it becomes a very easy choice for the subconscious to make. That's the magic. This stuff isn't complicated. Let's see. We had a few comments pop up in here. Like having this done for me because I need to make some money fast. I just lost my job. So that's what you don't want. What do you want? That'll be our first order bid. We gotta get clear about what you want. And we gotta quit studying the problem and start studying the solution. Now you're right, Jay Brown. That's a want. And because it's such a powerful want, it gave us the emotional leverage that we need to quickly, not weeks, not months, a session. We're gonna rewire your subconscious mind because now we got the leverage that we need. I want to have my son 19 hypnotized. Do you do signal ones? Is it a package? It depends on what he's working on. So I do one-offs, but we also do packages as well. A one-off will run you about $500. Our cheapest package is $1,500. Then we got a package on top of that that's $1,900. For the $1,900 package, you'll be spending about 45 days with me. multiple streams of income portfolio. So the way that I help people build multiple streams of income, I'm not a big fan of people when people have like 7 random streams of multiple income. Like me, for instance, I got several streams of income, but the way that we do it is we allow our income to give birth to streams of income. Like I used to own a cleaning company. And through owning my cleaning company, we kept getting calls with people asking us, did we clean Airbnbs? And after about the 6th call, I say, yeah. We do clean Airbnbs. And we learned what was necessary to clean Airbnbs. So that gave birth to another stream of income. Then as we started cleaning Airbnbs, we got people started asking, hey, do you manage Airbnbs? Like, will you take care of the restocking? I live in another state. Will you, like, if somebody gets locked out, can you take care of that? Can you change the batteries in the fire alarm? So the cleaning business gave birth to the Airbnb cleaning. The Airbnb cleaning gave birth to the Airbnb management. Then from the Airbnb management, I started coaching other people on how to manage Airbnb. So I like to teach people how to do that to where your strings of income give birth to strings of income. So those are all strings of incomes that I have since cut off. But these days, my background is in clinical hypnotherapy. Clinical hypnotherapy gave birth to incomes where I go out and do public speaking. Clinical hypnotherapy gave birth to an income where I sell merch. Clinical hypnotherapy gave birth to an income where I do sessions. Like, so all of my income is not forcing me to switch gears and stretch myself so far in all of these different streams of income. What I got to do is be a clinical hypnotherapist. So the way that we do it is we prime your subconscious mind to fix your reticular activation systems to a point where your incomes begin to give birth to incomes. And you can stay in one pocket while running all of these streams of income. You don't want to be doing care but I do hair, but I also do taxes, but I do taxes, but I also do child care, but I do child care, but I also do yards, sir, and I do that, but I also build websites. It's chaos. It's chaotic, and it's not sustainable. C-suite services that turn into marketing fund. Exactly. Exactly. And that's the work. But the subconscious mind is capable of doing whatever you tell it to do. You just got to know how to talk to it and tell it what to do. Then that's another thing I do with my clients. Not only do I hypnotize my clients, more important than me hypnotizing my clients is teaching my clients how to hypnotize themselves. That's very important. The mind doesn't come with a manual. So rather we do one session or 10 sessions. My goal is always to teach you how to do what I do for yourself. I don't want you to have to call me every time you have a problem. I want to teach you how to work your mind. I want to teach you the principles of your mind. And that's the thing. Even if you don't know you've done hypnosis before, you've done hypnosis before. Hypnosis is everywhere. What most people don't know is that you go into hypnosis at least 4 times a day, at a minimum. Driving down the highway, zoning out, miss your exit, hypnosis. Getting on the phone with a friend, losing track of time, hypnosis. Like you're constantly going into hypnosis. Anger is a trance. Happy is a trance. Sad is a trance. Depression is a trance state. You're constantly going from one trance to the next trance to the next trance to the next trance. So you might haven't been hypnotized on purpose before, but you definitely been hypnotized before. Definitely been hypnotized before. Is there hypno sessions for generating extra finances to work with you? Absolutely. If you go on my YouTube, there's plenty of those. But if you want to do a customized session, then just reach out to me. What's going on, Robbie? How we doing? What is up? What is up? What is up? What you got going on? We're here talking hypnosis, extra streams of income, all of this fun stuff. What's going on, Cassandra or Cassandra? Thanks for the taps, Angela. How you doing? What's going on, you Trend? How you doing? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. For sure, for sure. You got the tail end of it. We're gonna be landing soon. I can feel sleep starting to creep in. You're doing so good. How are you? I'm doing amazing. I'm doing amazing. Talking about my favorite subject with cool people. I'm not reading tonight. So the reading is not something I do very often. You must have came in here yesterday. That was just something I did yesterday because I didn't feel like lecturing. And the book was on my desk, so I started reading it. But today I had the energy to what was I reading the other day? The other day we were reading Feeling Is a Secret by Neville Goddard. Let me see. I'll pin it down below the book we were working out of the other day. We were working out of the Neville collection the other day. But I don't usually read on my lives. I just didn't have the energy to do what we did tonight. So I picked up a book and we just started getting into that. But I was reading out of that the other night. If you don't know who Neville Goddard is, if you like the conversations that we have here, you'll love Neville Goddard. If you like Esther Hicks, Joe Dispenza, Bob Proctor, if you like any of the modern day law of attraction teachers, they're borrowing from Neville Goddard. Everybody is borrowing from Neville Goddard. He's phenomenal when it comes to law of attraction. So yesterday we read chapter 1 of Feeling Is the Secret. We didn't get into chapter 2. Chapter 2 is on sleep and what actually happens as you sleep. Chapter 3 is on the power of prayer. And one thing that I like, so I grew up in the church. I actually used to be a church musician. I play piano. So from the time I was like in the 7th grade all the way through college, I was playing piano for a bunch of churches. So I got really deep into scripture. I know a lot of scripture. I know it, like the Bible is one of my favorite books. One thing I learned with being a hypnotist and spending so much time in the church is most people don't know how to pray. Most people don't, like people who have been born and raised in the church don't know the first thing about prayer. And Neville Goddard does a really good job of teaching you how to pray, teaching you how to turn thoughts into things. Oh, let's hear it. You don't know how to pray. Prayer is not about convincing God. Prayer is about practicing the frequency of having what you want. Yeah, prayer is not begging. Prayer is not like I tell the story all the time about how my daughter asks for things. When my daughter asks me for something, she comes, she say, "Daddy, I just saw this dollhouse on TV, and when I get it, I'm gonna put it right beside my other dollhouse, Daddy. And 5 of my Barbies gonna stay in my old dollhouse, and my other 7 Barbies they gonna stay in the new one. Daddy is huge." And as she's in this state of having, I'm a big creator, watching my little creator create, and I want to help. Her mom going, Jay, she don't need another doll. I don't care what she need. You didn't see the smile on her face. You didn't see the twinkle in her eyes. My baby is getting this dollhouse, and there's nothing you or anybody else can do about it. But imagine if that same little girl walked up to that same dad that got access to that same big pile of money, and she say, Daddy, my old dollhouse is stupid. It's too small. I've had it for 3 years. It's old. I don't like it. I want a new one. I can't say yes to her from that state because now she's in a state of not having. And from that state of not having, she sounds like a spoiled brat and she's not getting a dollhouse. She might get a lecture. She might get some more chores. She finna get a talk about how some little girls don't even have a dollhouse. And she's complaining about the one that she does have. But now she's out of the state of having and she's in a state of not having. And Neville Goddard does a really eloquent job of explaining how to assume the feeling of having. And people say, like people see my little girl, they go, she's spoiled. She's not spoiled. She's really good at assuming the state of having. And when she's assuming that state of having, I can't say no to her. But go ahead and you try to say no to her. You try to say no to her when she's assumed that state of having. And the crazy thing is when you assume the state of having, appreciate you, Robert. When you assume the state of having, you don't even gotta say please, because the please is in the energy. When you assume the state of having, you don't gotta plead a good, you don't gotta build a good case. The good case is in the energy. But when you're in that state of not having, I don't care how many valid points you got. Nobody's looking to help you from within a state of you're actually annoying when you're in a state of not having. Every day people hit my inbox, Coach J, I want to be a hypnotist, can you help me? I say yes to a lot of them and I say no to a lot of them, but the ones that I say yes to are people who are in a state of having, not the people who are in a state of not having and want me to dig them out of it. I don't, you have to get on the calendar if you want me to dig you out of a state of not having. But the people who are not, the people who are in a state of having, they feel like my colleagues. They feel like a friend. They feel like I feel inclined to help them. I feel inclined to say, hey, read these books. Like it was one lady, and I'm stretched. I got in entrepreneurship because I wanted freedom. Freedom was my biggest push for entrepreneurship. And I'm getting to like my boundaries of what I consider to be too much. So when she first reached out, I was trying to blow her off. I was like, hey, read these books. And after you read these books, get back in contact with me and let me know what you think. She said, I read those books. I'm like, bro, you ain't read these damn books. So I started asking her stuff. And then the way she was replying to the answers, she read those books. So like she's in the state of having, and since she's read the book, she's starting to ask me questions about my favorite subject that I find interesting. So she'll accidentally spark my interest, and now she's getting mentored by the best in the game. Not to brag, but the facts are the fucking facts. She's getting mentored by the best in the game, not because she was out of the frequency begging me to help her into the frequency. She's getting mentored by the best because she was already in the frequency. Get in the frequency, spend time in the frequency, become familiar with the frequency, and then start seeking mentorship. Get in the state of having. Definitely the best. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate you. Definitely the best in the game. But when you're in that state, man, you'll be surprised how Source literally starts working behind your back to give you everything that you desire. Literally starts to work behind your back to start giving you things that you desire. Then you get to this really sweet spot where you start to manifest things before you even know you needed them. Get in the frequency of having. You got to understand that having is a state of being. Not having is a state of being. Having is a state of, like you think, I got it, I don't got it. I got it, I don't got it. Having happens in here and in here. If you got it in your head and you got it in your heart, reality has no choice but to catch up to that shit. But if you got it in your hand and you don't got it in your head and you don't got it in your heart, reality has no choice but to catch up to what's going on in here and in here. You see it all the time with lottery winnings. Somebody be broke in their mind, be broke in their heart, and win the lottery. Give it a year. Reality is going to catch up to what's going on in here and in here. But if you get rich in here and you get rich in here, reality has no choice but to get you rich out here. Stop worrying about what's going on out there. What's going on out there is a distraction. And anytime you're measuring your success by what's going on out there, you're out of order. Can you do hypnosis for metastasized cancer to heal spine, pelvis, ribs, head, neck? Absolutely. Absolutely. They lose it so fast. So fast. So fast. So does that make sense? Having is a state of being. I can have $10 million in the bank. And even as I have $10 million in the bank, I can go in my endocrine system. I can go in my nervous system and go and create a state of not having. What if I do my taxes wrong and the IRS takes it? What if somebody sues me? What if my wife leaves me and takes it? What if even in a state of physically having it in the bank, I can neurologically and hormonally not have it. But if it worked in that direction, it'll work in that direction. So what that means is I can physically not have the money, but I can neurologically and hormonally get in the state of having. I'm creative. I'm resourceful. I got a high value skill. I got an iPhone that allows me to talk to people all over the world. And I'm going to show up every day and talk to these people over the world. And my bank account is going to respond to that. I'm rich already. I'm creative already. I'm resourceful. I got a book idea that I know for a fact is worth me. If I can stay in that state of mind. Now, if I stay in that state of mind for a week, that's not going to do it. I stay in that state of mind for 5 minutes a day, but spend the rest of the 23 hours and 55 minutes out of that state. That's not going to do it. But if I learn how to just spend, one thing I always tell my clients, if I just learn how to spend 51% of my time in that state, reality has no choice but to follow me. Your problem is you think you got to be perfect. You think you got to be in that state and never come out there. If you just can get in that state 51% of the time, reality has no choice but to follow you. Can you hypnotize you to get in the state? Absolutely. Absolutely. Hypnosis is not as complicated as y'all think it is. If I offend you, I just hypnotized you. I said something, you processed it, and as a result of something I said, you're in a different state. That's hypnosis. If I come home and I bring my girl some flowers and she said, "Oh, baby, you just made my day," yada, yada, yada. I just hypnotized her. I did something, she processed it, and as a result of something I did, she's in a different state. Sometimes I'll be on here live, I'll be streaming, and my girl passed by in some short shorts or some revealing clothing, and I go, "All right, y'all, I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow." I just got hypnotized. She did something, I processed it, and as a result of something she did, I'm in a different state of being. I'm done teaching, and I'm finna go do something else. That's hypnosis. Like, hypnosis isn't just look at the watch, you're getting sleep. Like, that's a piece of hypnosis. But if you hear a song and you say, "Ooh, this is my song," and you in a different state of, Chris Brown just hypnotized you. Taylor Swift just hypnotized you. Kirk Franklin just hypnotized you. They said something, you processed it, and as a result of something they did, you're in a different state. When your pastor stands on the stage and say, "Hey, I want every eye closed and every head bowed." When your pastor says, "I want you to look at your neighbor and say, 'Neighbor,' and without even thinking about it, you turn to the right and you say, 'Neighbor,' you just got hypnotized. If you go to a comedy show and this person is using their words, painting a picture, and you're responding to that picture with laughter, that's hypnosis. They're not putting a gun to your head and making you laugh, but they are saying, without saying laugh, they say, "Okay, it's time to laugh now." If you pick up on the cue, they successfully hypnotize you. If your friends say, "Man, I went to the new steakhouse I was telling you about. Bro, the scenery, beautiful. Bro, they got a live pianist in there. They got the lighting. The meat was literally falling off the bone. Man, you and the wife got to go check it out." If you decide to go to that restaurant, they just hypnotize you. Hypnosis is everywhere. If you know for a fact you got the skills necessary to do that thing that you want to do, you know you got the talent. You know you got the talent, but it's just this voice inside of you saying, "No, that's not gonna work. Don't waste your money on that. Don't do that. Don't quit your job." You hypnotizing you. That's what we call self-hypnosis. You logically, you know, I could do that. I'm good enough to do that. I see so and so doing that. They're not even as good as me. I seen that shit they put out. I could do that with one of my hands tied behind my back. But you got this inner dialogue saying, "No, don't do it. Don't." That's self-hypnosis. Hypnosis is you're way more familiar with hypnosis than you think. I got to talk about this book that I got pinned down below so TikTok won't get bad. If you've never won't get mad. If you're interested in manifesting, if you're interested in turning thoughts into things, if you're interested in taking the ideas out of your head, the desires out of your heart, and turning them into something you could taste, touch, feel, hear, and see, you should definitely check out Neville Goddard. If I'm showing up on your timeline, I'm willing to bet you already know who Neville Goddard is, because I probably wouldn't be on your timeline if you've never heard of Neville Goddard. But if you want all his writings in one place, we got it pinned down below. You should, Uncle Nell. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. My very favorite piece of work by Neville Goddard is "Feeling is a Secret." My second favorite piece by him is probably "At Your Command." I wish I had my physical book with me. It's actually on my desk at my office because I read it a lot. I don't got it at home with me. But you never heard of Neville Goddard? Well, I'm glad you ended up here, and I'm glad we got to introduce you to Neville Goddard. Top 3 to 5 books: The Neville Collection, which is tagged down below, Outwitting the Devil. Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill is a phenomenal book. If you've ever read Think and Grow Rich, Outwitting the Devil is a great next step for you. It's like Think and Grow Rich on steroids. Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz is another one of my favorite books. Psycho-Cybernetics is actually one of the books that actually twisted my arm into like doing what I do full time. Just the impact that book had on my life. So I gave you 3. What I gave you: The Neville Collection, Outwitting the Devil, Psycho-Cybernetics. Um, Another one of my favorite books is a book called Transformations. It's more of a book for people who are interested in hypnosis. Think and Grow Rich is another one of the books on my desk. I actually keep my original copy of Think and Grow Rich inside of my desk. Like people who've been inside of my office, I might have showed it to you, but I keep my original copy of Think and Grow Rich inside. It's broke. I don't even got the front cover to it. I punished that book, but that's actually the book that I was reading when I built my first 6-figure business. Psycho-Cybernetics is a powerful book, Rob. Check it out. So Psycho-Cybernetics, for those of you who don't know, everything feels like it's pulling downward. So step 1 is figuring out what you want. That's what you don't want. What's the equal opposite of that? We got to start getting descriptive about what you want, and we got to start talking about what you want. We got to start building the momentum around what you want. But Psycho-Cybernetics was written by Maxwell Maltz, who was a plastic surgeon in the 60s. And what he realized is sometimes he would do surgery on people and he would get them the exact result they wanted, and instantly their confidence would go up. Now that they had the nose that they wanted, now that they had the scar removed, now that they had the face structure that they wanted, their self-esteem and confidence will instantly go up. But he got puzzled because some people, that didn't happen. They had the exact nose they wanted, but their self-esteem stayed the same. The scar was gone, but they still felt ugly. And he got curious as to why. And he started to dig into and discover what we now know as your self-image. And what he realized that what's more important than what you see when you look in the mirror is your internal dialogue of how you describe yourself. And Psycho-Cybernetics unpacks that in a masterful way. And he really got curious when he went to countries like Europe, and he'll see people with these big scars on their face, and they will wear these scars on their face the same way that people in the United States will wear a gold medal around their neck. They wore these scars with pride, and the culture found these scars attractive because of not how the scar looked, but because of the meaning and the story behind the scar. And he got really interested in what we call the self-image. And Psycho-Cybernetics gives you about 300 pages of unpacking that in several different directions. But it's a good read. I might have that where I can add it for y'all. Let me see, is it in here? Okay, here's Outwitting the Devil. Outwitting the Devil is definitely one of my favorite books. Oh, The Way of the Superior Man. I'm gonna say some of y'all was in my office recently. The Way of the Superior Man is sitting there right as you get ready to walk out of the door. That's one of the ones I never put down. As a Man Thinketh is another one of my favorites. I'm just gonna load y'all up with some books before we get out of here. Becoming Supernatural is another one of my favorites. They got a lot of books on the TikTok shop. I don't recommend most of them. I'm gonna give you the ones I do recommend. Let's see. That's good, but a lot of other books that I can recommend are better. So we're gonna skip that one. We're gonna stick with those. So I just added some more books down below. If you click that shopping cart down there in the bottom left, it'll talk about those. Let's see. Let me scroll up. I was just going to say, oh yeah, become so. I'm a big fan of all of Joe Dispenza's books. Yep, I added them. If you click that shopping cart, they down there. Do I believe in quantum science? Yes, I do. You was just watching the YouTube? Thanks for watching the YouTube. If you're not on the YouTube, you're missing out. You are missing out. You see only one book when you click it? I just recently added the other one. See, do you see them now? Yeah, Joe Dispenza is dope. So Joe Dispenza has Becoming Supernatural. He has Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself and You Are the Placebo. Yeah, Joe Dispenza is dope. Which one is the best to start with? What are your goals? Where are you at right now in life? I don't want to just recommend you a book without knowing where you're at in life. All of those books are great depending on what you're looking to do next. The sleep hypnosis on my YouTube channel, I got a lot of them. I got several of them. Several of them. Abraham Hicks is also good. We love Abraham and Esther. We love us some Abraham and Esther. I fall asleep to one of those recordings every night. Procrastination and direction. You're struggling with procrastination? Jump into psycho-cybernetics. Let's build you a self-image where you couldn't procrastinate. No, fuck that. Jump into outwitting the devil. And we're gonna let Napoleon Hill talk to you about drifting. So outwitting the devil is dope. Let me pin outwitting the devil. Give me a second. So the basis of outwitting the devil is Napoleon Hill sits down and he interviews the devil. And he's getting the devil to reveal his tactics about how he keeps people stuck. And the devil talks about how he uses things like drifting to make people think that just because they aren't doing anything wrong, that they're doing everything right. What's really like ADHD? Which one is best for healing the body of cancer? There's a book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. I don't think it's here on TikTok in the TikTok shop, so you might have to get on Amazon. Let me see, can I find it here on TikTok? Give me a second. Give me a second. I see Becoming Supernatural. Also, You Are the Placebo would speak heavily to that. Coach, the coach's order. Get out. You should check out Outwitting the Devil. Finally got to make it to one of her seminars. I was able to channel like crazy. Who seminars? One of Esther's seminars. I think in 2026 we're gonna be back in seminar mode. We're doing a live event December 27th here in Dallas. But I think 26 we finna turn them up and start pushing out one every. We're gonna start pushing them out quarterly. Before COVID, I was doing a lot of them. And then during COVID, I ain't gonna lie, I got lazy. The virtual make it so easy. I don't gotta leave my house. I don't gotta leave my office. I'm trying to I'm trying to find. I thought I had more of the Joe Dispenza books on here. Give me a second. Give me just a second. Now I don't see it on here. You should check out YouTube for Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. not YouTube, Amazon for breaking the habit of being yourself. Details about what it's already sold out, Robbie, but I'm gonna be locking myself in a room with 10 entrepreneurs for a full day, and I'm gonna be hypnotizing the shit out of them. So, imposter syndrome, I'm afraid to charge what I'm worth. I'm showing up without a curriculum, without an outline, without anything, whatever problems they bring into the room, we're gonna take care of them on the spot. Jay, I'm afraid of public speaking. Close your eyes, deep sleep. You can stand in front of any crowd and deliver a powerful message. 1 to 3 eyes wide open. Go to the front of the room and give a 5-minute presentation. Whatever they bring into the room. For sure, for sure. For sure, for sure. Definitely check out the YouTube because we don't hold back. We do not hold back. Can I hypnotize through here? Absolutely. Definitely can. Absolutely. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. So we're gonna be coming to a close. How do you sign up? You want to work with me? Click the link in the bio and schedule a free consultation. We'll figure out exactly where you are and figure out what you need. Figure out what you need. All right. Any more questions before we shut down? What's going on, the duck? Hey, you have a good night as well. I play books while I sleep to allow my subconscious to absorb. Okay, cool, cool, cool. What's going on, Looney Tune? How you doing? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. You welcome. Well, look, I love you guys. Ain't nothing you can do about it. I'm finna get ready to lay it down. Anybody interested in working with me, click the link in my bio, schedule you a free consultation. If you want to subscribe to the YouTube, click the link in the bio. It'll take you to the YouTube. All the resources, everything that we offer, click the link in the bio and it'll take you there. Any YouTube videos you suggest for healing hypnosis, if you go on my YouTube, if you scroll down far enough, you'll find some for healing. Are you the lady that was talking about cancer? Let me see. Let me scroll back up. Yeah, inbox me. I'm going to make you a custom hypnosis audio to get you moving in the right direction. My upcoming week is a little it's a little turbulent. So I'm not gonna promise it in the next like 24 hours or anything. But by the end of this upcoming week, I'm gonna have that to you. At some point, I'm gonna jump on Zoom with you to talk to you for about 10 minutes so I can figure out exactly what it needs to say, figure out what limits and beliefs you might have that we need to tackle directly. But I'm gonna hook you up with a free recording that you can start listening to. Now it's only gonna work if you work it. You gotta listen to it. You gotta take time to let it do what it does. But if you listen to it, it will have an effect. I'm going to hook you up with that. Inbox me as soon as we wrap up the live. And don't be afraid to double message me. Sometimes my inbox might get a little crazy. So if I that goes for anybody. If I tell you I'm gonna do something and I don't do it, charge it to my head. Don't charge it to my heart. I'm busy. I forgot. Don't be afraid to double message me about something I told you I was gonna do. Now, if it's something that you want me to do, I probably saw it and I'm just not doing it. But if it's something that came out of my mouth that I said I was gonna do and I didn't do it, don't be afraid to double message me. I just forgot. It's not that I'm ignoring you. I just forgot. But hold me to that. I'm gonna make you a recording. Message me soon as we end the live. And we're actually finna end the live now because I can feel myself getting tired. And I'm about to go to bed and recharge. And I got an 11 o'clock tomorrow. I just thought about it. So yeah, I'm about to get some rest. Love every last one of y'all. Ain't nothing y'all can do about it. I'm gonna see y'all next time. Thanks for kicking it with me. And shout out to my girl, because I wasn't going live tonight. She was like, baby, you should go live. And I listened to her, and I'm glad that I did. So shout out to her. I'm going to see y'all later, and y'all take it easy.